Mindful moodling will be starting in a few minutes. Well, you know how early I am. Anyway, just bear with me, the video's about to start soon. Thanks, bye. Boop, 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 doo. Are we in? Hello. Good afternoon. Oh, I must have whacked my camera. Good afternoon. Good day, everybody. Hope everyone's well. Next week it's going to be my Patreon's 3-dimensional project, so I can't wait for that. Woo-hoo. So I'm going to wait for a few more people to come in. Get your drink of moment, which is my Vimto. A bit of shamisen or shamisen music. And we're on YouTube or LuTube. We're on Mindful Moodling, hopefully, and we're in the other part, which is me. Music. Not a lot of stuff today. I got these sent to me very kindly, and I'm really happy because the tiny nibs and the greys and blacks, which is super cool. So thank you to Royal Talons for that. I know I'm on. Why did he send you them silly things? Yes, I know I'm already on. Get ready, I'm on it. I've got white pencil. I've got a Prisma, which in my opinion is the best white going. And I've got some others, but all the pens and stuff are linked on the description. And I'm going to use my Faber-Castell pencils as well today because I'm going to take it one step further. So we're going to go through the drawing element and then move on. So I hope everybody's well. I'm back. I was back yesterday from TV land. It was like going back to school your first day back. A bit strange, but it was really cool when I got there. And apparently I had over 50 emails. So, hi, Anya. Hi, Kaz. Hi, Sue. Oh, do you know what, Carol? I don't often say this, but I didn't get to show you much. I wanted to finish that clock, and I wanted to show you how it all sort of worked, but I kept being asked to show this and this and this. And, well, I know that's good. I don't feel that I got to show you what I wanted to, if that makes sense. So, so thank you. I was back. It felt like it was never been away, but I'd been away like 3 or 4 months. Anyway, I'm using grey paper, but there's nothing to say that you have to use grey paper. You can use whatever colour you want. I'm just using it because it's going to be a mid-tone so that the white and the black pencils both show up on it, and it's just an easier format. Hi, Sue. Oh, brilliant. Nobody has to do this with me. You can if you want, and you don't have to catch up. I have terrible a conscience of people saying, "Oh, I've missed." They're not made for that. They're made for you. I know I'll be ready to start. I'm getting messages, you see, and it's saying getting ready to start. Do you know what? I'll get ready to throw this computer in a minute. Anyway, so there's no right and wrong way. There's no starting and finishing. These are just ideas for you. Nothing else. But we're going to do a little bit of colour today. So I've got my ruler, and all I've done is I've made a line here using that line. And I'm just going to draw a quick. Now, I like me guidelines, so I'm just going to just sticking this up for you so you can see. So all I've done is I've used the inner line on these stencils. Now, I haven't put these stencils on, but you can use anything. I mean, sometimes if I'm drawing, I'll just get that and draw around it. So use what you've got. So we've got this basic shape. Oh, some really bad news. Oh, thank you, Vicky. Thank you, everybody, for your wonderful emails. Hi, Jenny. Oh, yeah, I really appreciate because that made me feel really at home. Anyway, so we're going to go back to the owl. Oh, my fingers are getting worse, aren't they? All the bruising's gone. There's only that tiny bit there. I don't know if you can see it. All the rest is gone, but the bone's still really sore. But anyway, yeah. And the pain, Mark didn't let me do anything yesterday. He did it all. So I was like, wow. But he works at a different speed, and it was quite like, you hurry up now. Can you hurry up? I hope somebody's just had some very bad news. Don't know who it is, and I really hope they're okay. Oh dear, I don't like to hear that. I am sorry to hear that. I can't find the actual one I did. So here, I've got it online on my StreamYard, and I thought I'll catch up just by using a little sketch. So I like to use this page. I don't like to waste it. So having my ideas on here is a great little idea. So the first thing I'm going to do, as you know, I'm just going to, it's not going to be about the drawing. It's going to be about what do you do, adding colour and stuff, you know. So, oh, is that the centre? Don't really matter. So I'm just going to mark out a little bit of the centre by eye. Don't need to draw it on. And really, you don't need to do this. This is just me because I need to get some idea of how I drew the last one. So I'm going to just quickly get this in. And if you need to see how I did this, please go back to the other video. It's all there for you. So I'm just going to draw my owl. Right, so I start with that line. And hopefully when my new stamps come out, you'll see all the connections that I have. So here, I'm going to bring that down a little bit, and I'm going to draw a rounded carrot, because if I put a point on it, it looks aggressive. Weird that, isn't it? So if I put a point on that, it looks aggressive, look. Well, if I take the point away, oh, it hurts that. It's less aggressive, look. That's not what it's going to finish. It looks terrible. Emma! Oh, Emma, thank you so much. Hi, Beverly. Emma, thank you. The support was so. I tell you what, when I heard comment your emails, guys, I was like, thank you. It really helped me a lot. So just to explain, if you've just walked in, come in, sat down, whatever, I can't find the original drawing. It's on StreamYard. I think it's 2 videos ago. So we're taking that. So I'm doing a quick breakdown of it, and I'm going to do something with it. So here I'm just going to, now I'm looking at this. I could change that into a cow head, couldn't I? Now, if I was, any advice I could give you here is trace it if you wish to get it symmetrical, but I'm not really bothered. So we put in the, you know, his eyebrows, and this is fit a frame if you wish. And this line here will be eyes. I think I've done this a little bit high, but I don't think so. Here, so let's go for that shape. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I was, like I say, when they read some of the emails, and Laura, the producer, she was like, "Oh, I couldn't read them all," you know, and I felt I didn't have much time to do any work, which gutted me a bit. But so I've put another line in there just to make it a bit bigger if I wish, and then I'm going to put in his head. So his head is, it's just going to be that big. I can always take it away. Looks a bit. He's an owl. He can do whatever he wants. Now I'm going to put the eyes in. Now I'm only using half eyes because it tends to look a little bit more like wise and less aggressive, but still stern. You know, like the teacher look. There we go. So this is a quick breakdown. The others are a lot slower than this. And then we'll have another one. Now, if it comes from there, does it look like he's got a bag under his eye? And yes, it does. So we're not going to take it from there. We're going to take it from here. Okay. And I think if we was to put, see that rounded? No, I prefer it without the round. So now what we can do is just make the nose a little bit bigger. His eyebrows can be well big now. See, if I put that on, he looks a bit starry-eyed, but quite like the idea of a spectacle. Wow, you've just said it. An owl in glasses. There you go. Wow. So that's the one we've got here. So we could put the shape in there. I'm going to keep that. Quite like that. It's quite cool. Oh, yeah, half moon specs. So you could have either or. Reminds me of, I tell you, I love her stuff. Belinda's, you know, when she does her steampunky ones. I mean, I love the mechanical stuff and steampunky stuff, but we used to do a project in school, and it used to be one of the 3 projects for the GCSE, and it was called fastenings, and it was where anything that fastens together manually, naturally, or anything, you have to morph it. We used to love it, and it's sort of got a sense of that back in my work. Stopped doing it a while ago, but I brought it back. But I must admit, there's loads of people who influenced me doing it. So you can see we've got our basic Mr. You know, whatever. So his eyebrows might be a little bit too big, but let's see. So I'm going to just rub one out. Now, the template for this is available in the other shows. So, right, let's see which is better. One with flamboyant. I like flamboyant. I like flamboyant. So the Patreons, the monthly project one, will be getting the project for this, but it'll be, and the other one's 3-dimensional. So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to put in some double lines. There we go. So I'm happy with that. Bit small. Happy with that, but that's the basis for our next thing. I've chosen to do it on grey because it's easy to see, and I think we can go on with some lines. Now I am using a sepia pen because I don't want it too heavy, and we've got these as well from, and these are great, 2 brush pens, and we've got dark grey and light grey, and we've got them in 0.1 and 10, so we've got a huge range there, which is fantastic. So I'm going to use a contrasting one for now. I'm going to go straight in with a pen. Now, if this isn't big enough, I will go in with the black, because although I can see it, you might not be able to. So now when we'll get the date sorted for my Patreons, and you will have this PDF ready. There we go. So we've put a little bit. I'm going to have to go to black for this. I'm sorry, guys. I'll get a black pen. I'll tell you why I'm not using my pip pen, my thingy pens, because they could smudge. So, right, you know when you need a pen and you've got a house full of pens? Yeah. God's law. be right. Okay, I've got 0.8, which you can see. So here we go. So let's put the first right now. You might be able to see. So when you're drawing, oh wait, my elbow went then. When you're drawing, you can try and be as sort of fluid as you want, and then that way you're not, your lines aren't fixed and really rigid. It's a lot softer. So when you do, I'm just going to they're not the same. I don't care. It really don't matter. That's not the issue, is it? So I'm bringing a line here, straight, and then up. Okay. Okay. So Dennis Seeley. Oh yes. See how it starts to sort of make sense that the lines flow. Um, if you use short juddery lines, it alters the drawing a lot. So if you wanted to put eyelashes on, this is the time. This is the time that you want to do it. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller, like that. I think that fits better. And then so if you're in my Patreons and next month, the end of this month, sorry, when we're doing the actual big project on it, you'll get the pattern for this to just draw off, and then we'll start dissecting it from there. I'm going to now just put in no lines, because I'm suggesting an edge. Suggestions. I'm suggesting an edge without drawing a thick line, and a larger pen nib is better. There was somebody who said on telly, "Oh, it don't matter about all these pen nibs." I'd like to call that person out, but I'm a bit too professional to name. But yeah, he said you don't need different pen nibs because you can just use what. No, you really do, and I think we've proved that with our drawing. But yeah, if some people's opinions are like that, that's fine. But I can assure you that the thinner your pen, the thinner the line, the lighter the colour, all has a huge significance. So, yeah, I don't agree with that statement at all. You do need different nibs to create different things. So I'm suggesting the edge, but I am not drawing it in. And I've done it a little bit lighter there, but who cares? Here we could make his whiskers big as well if we wish. I'll just draw you one on to show you. So if we wanted to, yeah, it could have a bit of a tash going on. So just think about options like that. He's not having a tash. There you go. So again, so just going straight across this edge, very thin dotted line, and then up here. And this is to just clearly identify, well, not clearly, to suggest that there's an edge to it, but this is going to go in that frame. So I know people were asking me about the things, and my first workshops will be coming up soon, live and in person, if you'd like to join me in Manchester. And if you know of a place near you that you would like me to come and visit, and you know that they do art classes, then let me know. Perhaps we could arrange a visit that I come to yours. I used to do it. I used to do the what they call, which one is it? Oh, she's moved away now. It was in the Midlands. And I used to like going there. Amelia's. I've not been there for years. So if you know somewhere that you can get, somebody. Right, okay. So we've got our lines now. Those eyebrows are super big, aren't they? So I'm just going to go back to my drawing and quickly put some shapes in. Now, the shapes that really do work with this, I'm going to go straight in with a pen. Okay, so I might just do it a double line there. So I'm going to do one. And I'm going to put a little, the reason I'm rushing here is because I want to get to the next part. So I'm using sort of a feather shape, but it's not too sort of mechanical. It's quite random. So it's just a bump with a line like that. So he's got that there. I'm going to sort of, I'm looking at the so it goes I've just drawn it there to get balance. You don't have to put the little bits on it if you don't, but I will add that again because I think that's one of the great patterns for it. So I'm just looking at this and I'm just going to put in here this is just following the old pattern. I hope everybody's well. It's so good to get back into it because I like that. Eyebrows aren't twins, they're sisters. Yay. Unless you're Frida Kahlo. And then you're a they. Oh, the pen smudged a little bit because I didn't wait. But never mind. So we've got two basic ones. Now let's go for some other patterns that perhaps fit within a. I think personally a feather shape is really important because you start adding different things. It's like it doesn't look right. So here, just for this time, I'm just going to. Do I like that or should it be that way? Which way do you like? That way. So I'm going to straighten with a pen. Very different. So I'm just going to put that design in there. I don't wish I had now, but it's to copy that. But I'll do another design that just complements that there. And then that hides my really ropey one. And do you know what I mean? It hides that. I wouldn't normally do it just as quick as this, but like I say, I'm filling in. We're drawing what we drew the other day, and I'm just adding so that I can get straight on with the other stuff I want to do. So I've added that there. The I think that needs to be split myself because you know when it's a bit much. Oh, that's thank you, thank you. I thought you meant about what I was saying. Exactly. You wouldn't use it's like using a brick to draw a line. You don't do it, do you? You use fine pen. Yeah, when they said it, I was like, shut up, you silly person. Um, but there again, if they've been given information, then that's um something. I always prefer to check up on my own. Sometimes I get it wrong, and I do realise, and I'm glad to be told that I've got it wrong. But yeah, um, or I've misunderstood. But you know, maybe it was to just sell pens. I don't know. So I've got the eyes on there. Oh, it's looking very dramatic. So I'm looking at these patterns I've got here, and I'm thinking it'd be quite nice to have that. I say I've got a pattern here, and I've got a leaf pattern. So I'll show you what I mean, like that. Or I've got this one that goes. Where's that pattern that I liked? That way. That one I quite like because this one would go. Yeah. Although that is nice, isn't it? I'm just thinking which should I do, guys? I'll do this one. Once you've done one and you're happy with something, there's this strange behaviour with the British that if you use tracing paper for some reason, you're cheating. What a load of baloney. You know what I mean? It's rubbish. You drew it. I'm just adding some circles just to give it, fill in that little bit of a pattern. And then I'm just going to try my best to fill in this side. Look onto some colouring, which is what I want to do. Your pattern will change. Like your handwriting, you've got a basis, but every day you look at it and go, why does it look like that? That's not my hand. You know what I mean? That's not my handwriting. That's not that. It is. It's just that it's changed slightly. So we've got his eyebrows on. Hello, Denise. Hey, sneaky one. So now what I'm going to do is just do that because it will mimic, the eyes. And then I'm just going to go with a big version of the pattern. Let me show you. And then colour, 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 colour. Uh, yeah, so we'll start here. And because this is going halfway, so you're going like over that edge, just take your time. They will change, nothing you can do about that, but just be mindful of it, that it does change. And it's a bit like bricks. You've got, keep your eye on the shape when you're drawing them, because they do change. So there we go. That's about right. So we can put the netting on there if we wish. That should be a bit bigger there. So to compensate for that muck up I've just done, I'm just going to put in a few more random ones, like his feathers are a bit ruffled. And I'm just going to put some little ones there. Right, okay. We're spending half an hour on this. Should have just got it done, shouldn't I? So here we're just going to do simple ones, I think. So we'll match these, but we won't have as much. Oh, I don't know now. See, we've got that, and that. So I don't want too much pattern on this. There we go. So we've got that there, which could be feathers. Okay, and the last one, which is here, we'll just do just thinking of, let's see what we've got here. Anything that we could put on. Yeah, maybe a double one. There we go. And that one's really different to that one, but nobody cares. So here I'm just looking at some of the patterns I've got. So maybe I could do a. Yeah, that's it. Right, okay. Now it's going to be quite tonal, so it's going to be really simple. I have got my pens and pencils and stuff all out, but the colours I'd like to show you that I'm going to do are going to be, believe it or not, brown and blues. So I'm just going to take out some browns and some blues. So I'll just leave them in there, because otherwise, if I know somebody not far away, they'll be like, what are you doing with them pens? What are you doing with the pencils? Hold them properly. Right, so there's some browns there, some browns there. I don't need them all. I'll just use a few. I wish I didn't have this many to choose from. Right, so let's get some lights in first. So we're going to go in with a white. Let's get the white in. And I'll do pattern later. I'm not bothered now. So we're going to get the white in here. Oh, I need the other one. Right, I still say, as I said, the oil pencil is very bright. And I love it. So we're putting these as white, but there's a reason for that. Right? And then white here. So blend it out. I'm not being too careful. Well, I think you can see that, can't you? So we've got the white on the eyes. We've got that. And we're going to have blue eyes, I think. So I'm going to go for a light pencil now. And I'm just going to go over the top to the bottom. but I'm not pressing too hard. And I've got a wax and an oil pencil together, which really isn't supposed to work, but if you just press hard enough, it will. Now, I'm not doing it to clearly fill up all the little fibres. I'm doing it so I'll put colour on, but there's still enough room for me to put another colour on. And by that, I mean that when your fibres are laid down, when your pigment's laid down, it takes up fibres. So we've got one colour. So now I'm going to go for the next colour that I want down. And I'm going to start halfway over. And I'm just doing lines from the bottom up. So if you wanted to, you'd just do that. You could have it nice and sharp if you wish. So I'm building up colour with pencil strokes. Right, like that. I'll come a bit close. Would you like it? Oh, hi, Sue. You'll like this, Sue. Okay, come a bit closer. So I've done the white on it, the light blue, and then the mid blue. I've just drawn it like this, and you can see a bit closer now. And I'm doing it from bottom up. So if I go like that, it is better with a sharper pencil because you get a more prominent line. There we go. I wish I'd win the lottery, you know why? I'd give loads of money away because I only want enough to get a studio. And then I could give up rest to people I know who need it. Like people who've been poorly and they might need an holiday or whatever. I won't keep it all because I don't want it all. It'd make me unhappy, I think. So I'm going to go in with a dark blue and I'm going to go in with an indigo. And I'm just going to go from the bottom up. Like that. Tiny bit. What I don't want to do is cover what we've already done. So I'm doing it dark here. Try this. Try this when you're practicing with your pencils, colouring in. Try it with circles or lines and see what you prefer. Because there's all sorts of different ways of doing it. So now I've got the next one down. It's not quite as dark, but it's the next one up. And it just gives it life. Okay, so I want to keep the lines. So again, when you look at lines in your eyes, you've got these wonderful like striations, aren't they? So I can always go over them a little bit. You don't get the full effect yet, but you will. Okay, so now we're going to go back to the dark here. And as you get nearer the eye here, the eyelid, just go over the eye like that to give it a bit of shade. So what's happening is you're giving it a bit of shadow. So I'm going to get my white pen back, and this time I'm just going to flick and break that up. Now at the monastery, I'm going to do some colouring techniques and stuff. So people get a little bit frightened of pencils and just they just think, oh no, I can't do it. And there are easy ways. If you can pick up a pencil, you can shade and colour and anything. You just need to be shown. I was never shown how to use a pencil. So the first thing I did was, when I was teaching, showed people how to use a pencil. Sounds daft. Why would you say, oh, miss, sir, you show me how to use a pencil? I don't know what you mean. And it's such a daft question, you feel, but it's not. It's one that we all need to answer. That's a little bit. So now I can go back in and just give that a little bit of a tickle, get rid of it. And the answer to tickling is just going back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. And then I'm going to put in the lights again. There we go. So we've got some nice blue eyes. I hope. Ah, right. Okay. Well, that's an easy one. If you use Prismacolor, they're oilier, easier. Here we're going to use like a beaky colour, which is stupid to say, isn't it? I'm going to use a bronze colour and maybe some of these dark, and these are called pits, but you could use a dark brown and a light brown and an orangey colour, and I'll get them out, don't worry, I'll show them you. So we're going to do what we did before, we're building up colour. So we need a dark, medium and light, so you could use them. I've got a different sort here, Prismas and Caran d'Ache hexagon shape. Prismas don't have an end gold, and Faber-Castell have round with a gold. That's how I know them when they're sat down. And these are oil based. These are pit oil based, and these are slightly different pencils, but they're brilliant to work with. These are what the old shading pencils. So these are the Derwent sketching pencils. So we've got a range here, the sanguine ones. Sanguine. So I'm going to use this. So we're going to go with, in the middle, lay the colour down. You don't need a lot of pressure to do this. You just need repetition. You don't need to be able to sort of press down, because I'll show you. It's all about layers. So one layer and another layer, right? Next, we'll go halfway over, and I'm directing the pencil to show the lines I want. So I want it going that way, as we did. So now I showed you on the eyes, we can go with lines. Well, I'm going to do it here. So midline, now swizzle it over, and we're going to go so we're creating the illusion of it being roundish now. Darkest colour. And if you want to just do that, you can. So it's just a case of very light shading around the edge, just the edge. Or you can do the up and down, or you can do the. When I'm doing my Patreon next month, which will be the next project, obviously, I'm going to be showing you how the key ways of shading to get the most out of your work. Right, so I don't like that. I really don't like it, because it's not enough for me. So what I'll do is I'll get a very light pencil and just put the light pencil over it all in the middle. There you go. So now I'm going to go with a dark blue and put the nostrils in. So we've got this. Now let's look at these. Now what I didn't do before is rub it out. Now it's going to take me a while. It's still got no strength in my hand. So bear with me while I look stupid doing this, but I can't hold it very well. Although Matt did say to me, he couldn't tell that I couldn't use my hand very well. He said I hid it. So excellent. And you can rub out coloured pencils, you know. So here we're going to do some, again, really light colouring. So I'm going to go with the light, maybe a yellow I used, or a cream. I'd use these colours, which are more on the neutrals, but I do like the idea of using the warm browns that I had before. So what we need to do is put the cream in. Easy in it. Colour it in, all of it. Just, we're concentrating at the very bottom. Just only layering it down. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on it. Honestly, I'm not, because I can't. So for those of you who say, you know, pressure's an issue, it's not, honestly. It's layers, especially if you're using a tonal paper, because using a tonal paper means that you the mid bits are taken care of you, taken care for you, because it's the paper that's adding the tonal element. You get me? It's the actual paper that's doing that. You're just adding lights and darks if you think about it. So I'm just going to run this over the middle like that. So the next thing is, let's look at the next colour. And I think the next colour would probably be, so back over halfway. And if you get good pencils, you don't have to press. You really don't. And I'm only doing halfway, really halfway to the end, like that. Right. So now what we do is, it looks awful like that. Go back. But like I say, I'm going to go over this in a full lesson. See? Now we do the opposite way again, and I've got a chocolate colour. Now you find that it's too dark, don't worry. Here we go. Oh, my hand's hurting now. So if I go back with the, there we go. Can you see how that's really helped to blend it in? But don't worry. So at the end of the month for my Patreons, we're going to be doing a 3-dimensional one of these that goes in a 3D vase, frame if you want. So it's going to be a 3-dimensional decoupage one. And they look brilliant. I've done one, I've cut about 9 now, and I didn't like it, but I've come to the best one now, but I'm not showing you. Right, so we've got these wonderful plumages. Oh, forgot to do that one. Now, what do we do with these things here? Well, that's really easy. We can just lightly put the darkest colour in, almost like shading. We don't want to get rid of the tonal base of the paper. What we want to do is just isolate it from the other areas and show it belongs to that. How do you like that? Easy. Watercolour, yeah, perfect. But I think personally I like to use both. So I've just put a little line in the middle. Right, okay. So because the time's running out, I'm just going to do one side. Is that all right with everybody? So underneath here, I'm going to go with some light plumage. So I'm going to use a light, the cream again. Sorry, the grey, which is very light. It's not white. There's white. Can you see the difference? So I'm just going to do tonal now. And I'm going to use the paper to give me the base. Like that. So we're going to go to a mid blue. For the background. Yep, it's not too much near the eye. Let's see if this will help. Yep, that's cool. I am going to isolate it a little bit more. So what I am going to do is put, I think, a little bit of copper in this just to give it a bit of a... Oh yeah, that's nice. It's just toning down that little bit of grey. Okay, so the next thing is let's go with mixing the two. So we're going to go with when I do my classes for my Patreons, this is going to be a lot more in depth. I'm just flicking about here. So what I'm doing is laying a base colour down. Okay, and I'm going to do the same here. So it's a light base, so we can identify where we want to colour next. And the next thing is, are we going to put a mid in? Yes, we are. So I'm going to get my mid, which is this nice colour, and I'm just going to go like that. So I'm using round movements just on the edge like that. These are my two favourite colours that go together. They just look amazing. I'm going to change this up. That's better, isn't it? Yeah, that's better. So I'm just going... I'm going to bring it down a little bit now. I've identified the area I want, kept the areas I do want light. I'm going to go back in now with the indigo. Because this looks a bit weird, this other blue, because we've got cool and cold and warm blues, I'm going to bring the colour back down here, from down here up here. And I'll show you what I mean. We've got the light, we've got the dark, we've got the medium, but what I do want to do is just bring this here and just put a pop of colour like a feather. Get me? Just going to get the indigo. Forgot one there. I hope this helps you understand, because people have asked you, well, what do you do in your classes? Well, it's the first month it's properly started, and this is where it'll go. We'll start with an idea and then just go with it. Oh yeah. I love that film. So here, what we're going to do is oppose the colours. So we're keeping with these colours, but now we're going to change them up a little bit because we're going to bring up this idea of him wearing a crown. I know he's not got a crown on, but so we've got the blue there. So what I'm thinking is if we have the blue here. Now when you're doing dark to light, it's a little bit different because you can't go over all of it, otherwise it darkens everything. So what you do is you put your dark down, but not over all of it. And then you put your light over all of it. Just be careful you don't get green, because you can still get green even though it's not a mixed paint. Do you know what I mean? So you can see I'm getting green in the middle, but I'll get rid of that in the middle bit. Because even though these aren't paint pigments, the pigments still behave like paint. So we've got that. So what I'm going to do, just to alleviate that in the middle, I'm gonna cool it down now with a. If I do that, can you see? Or a white will do it, or a cream. It'll just cool it down a little bit. But that's how you get peacock colours, you see. Oh, that needs blue, silly woman. But can you see how it now really pops? Put a bit of colour in. And I'm going to lighten this because it's too dark. That's better. Right, so we've got, oh, it's looking nice. I like the bit of green. I like the bit of green as well. But you can go back in with your whatever you want. So here we're looking at these to be like feathers. Again, that's near there. So if I put in the like that, I'm just going to see what it looks like. And then I'll bring in the mid blue. No, let's see. No, sometimes the blues won't work on the top because they're just too dark or too light. There's the green again. Yeah, I like that as well. It's amazing, isn't it, how you can get the same effect, you know, when we're painting and we do all these mixing of colours. You don't think that if you put pencil crayon on top of pencil crayon that you're going to get those, but you do. You do. Well, you proved it. So I'm going back over this now to smooth that colour out because it's a bit jarring, as we would say. So we've got this nice grey, but it's a bit green, but it's a bit too green for me actually. So little layers out. I'm not particularly neat. I'm a here. And I've done a like a wibble wobble on that, like a round one, but I'm deciding that I'm just going to feed that back into the eyeball, and then that way it'll look like it more rounded. So I'm doing exactly the same. I'm just bringing it up, but now I'm going to make it rounded just by bringing the colour up. So I'll bring it up there, round, and then I won't lose my white. See, I've got like, hopefully, what I lighten that, go back in with this one, blend it together. So I like that better because it feels like you're more. I'm not too enamoured about them there, but I'll see if I can cancel them down a little bit more with another blue. Maybe a Prussian blue will do it. No. Right, so I quite like that. I'm not doing that one, but you get that nice change and it's up here, so let's go with it then. This one, so I'm liking that more than I thought I would. Oh, I'm like that, but I'm not finished. So we finished that there. What you can do is just be brave, a few couple of blue lines there. So here with blue. That's what I mean. To get these colours, you try it on white, you get a different colour. You try it on black, you get a different colour. So it's well worth investing in tonal papers. And this was only £4, this, so it's not like I broke the bank. But um, not all of these papers are good. You know the what you call it papers. What they called like photographic, like scrapbook pages are good to draw on, but these aren't bad. So I'm just going to take the colour out a little bit. Yeah, like that. And then go over it black. And again with it. That's better. I've toned it down a little bit. So I've gone back over with the white and it's brought it more to more blue and how I want the colours rather than the overly, that was a bit overly green that for me. Right, so I brought those back in. Here, get a flash of colour using the darker blue. There we go. And we've got the darker blue. I quite like the idea of having the darker blue there, but I also like the idea of the darker brown. So I think I'm going to go with the darker brown. The only thing I don't want is for him to look like he's got bags. No, that's working. So yeah, in the class it all gets covered. I'm going to bring that down because I think that fits that quite well. I might even just put that on there. I think that works better. Yeah, that works better. It's more in keeping. That's why if you're using a light, it's always interesting to see how it reacts because you might not like it. You might want it darker. See here, we can afford to go back in with colours now, can't we? Whereas before, I wanted to leave it to see, oops, how much I needed pattern and how much I didn't. Oh, no, my hand's not letting me do that, so I'm just going to do this. Save the day. And get my blue. Might do this darker. It's hardly visible, but I know the change is there. You might not be able to see it on there, but I know it's there. And I think, just wondering about this. I think I need some pattern in there, but I'll do that in a minute. And then just do some. And then here, I'm going to follow this. So I'm going to get the light, medium, and dark. Just by doing some little strokes of the pencil. Excuse me. So we've got another bouncy frilly line here, which I'm not enamored with, but it's only the time element. So we've got that now. He's looking quite fine. So I'm really happy with him, but we've got some time constraints. So I'm going to get my pen and I'll finish this off camera and show you. So for those people who are waiting for it, my new the new stamps are in production lines, waiting now, just waiting in line, getting a white pen. Okay, so here, where did I put it last time? Excuse me 1 minute. Right, okay. White line there. Right, look. I'm not over that. No, don't work there. Don't work there. Maybe there. Okay, I'm just adding some little white detail. You don't need to do this. It's purely up to you. So just little lines like that bring it alive. Need to maybe look at that. Oh, I know what it is. Yeah, of course. Of course you could, Denise. Yeah, absolutely. You could do that. When I'm drawing, I do mine on tracing paper and I don't redraw it. I just add the detail that I want and flick it over and flick it over until I'm happy. Until I'm happy doing it. Here I'm just going to put in a little dot at the top of the feathers. That would work. That's too much. I'm taking that off. Here, just going to bring in a couple of lines there to bring it alive. I know what it is. It needs to be darker. What it is. There we go. Looks better now. And even darker across here, so. Yeah, can you see how it's shadowed it now? And then I'm just thinking here. It sometimes works. Sometimes it won't work because of the oil, but we'll see. I'm using my lovely friend Emma's advice, tickling, and barely touching the paper. We got this wonderful sort of feather like. Sometimes I've gone a bit over the top, but there's nothing to stop you keeping the colour there. But all you need to do is just go back over and colour it in. And then what happens is the white underneath allows it to stay white, if that makes sense. And then I'm just going to put in a. I'm just trying to find if I want a pattern on here. Um, like that. Yeah, quite like that. Keep it sort of together but separate. And I might just put in the black lines that I had before. So what I might do is just put the black line there and then just break it up a little bit like that. I'm going to put a black line here. And now here, this is where I'm going to do like that. You get like a more depth in it if you get me. And then any lines that have gone a bit skew whiffy, this is the time to put them in. And this is where you really start to mess about. And I can go for hours sitting doing this, but the only problem with that is I tend to go over the top. Because there's colour on the underneath of this, it really doesn't matter if you go over. Right, so basically, if anybody would like to join it, and like I say, the end of the month will only be for Patreon, so only the people in my Patreon group will see it, and we'll be doing this three-dimensionally. But I hope you've enjoyed taking that owl one step further. Yeah, absolutely. It's absolutely one, totem pole. If you want to make eyelashes, you can. So if we was to pull, I'm just going to do that dark just to define it. And then what I would do is this. And that'll dry. Take some off with your finger. But I'm just going to. So again, I'll have some classes on this available. And I really do love that. That's one of my favourites, I must admit, for colouring. But complementary colours work. They absolutely work. Just going to flick in some lines like that. And a little squiggle on there. He's having a bit of a thingy moment. There we go. So we've got a blue and a brown moment there. Definition near his eyebrows. But there we go, using the opposite colours. A white pen, but tonally, it's half done for you because the paper's already, you know what I mean? The paper's the tonal paper. So I really hope you enjoyed that. There will be another one next week, but like I say, for my Patreons, you'll get this 3-dimensionally in a frame and blah, blah, blah. And then we'll take it. So I hope you enjoyed that. We did a quick drawing of what we did. I'm going to finish colouring that in. I will take a photograph, put that into my little group. And anybody who's in it will know that it will go in my Patreon group. And you can use it from there. I've thoroughly enjoyed it today. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm going to do some painting in a minute. Believe it or not, I'm doing more birds. Yeah, I've got a thing for birds at the moment. But I'm loving birds. So I really like that. I think he's got a bit of, or she has, a bit of class. And you go in with your gold work. So if I just put, come here, come here, come here, come here, come here, a bit of paper. I can't find a bit of paper when I want one. Oh, the biggest paper in the world. Right. Oh, here we go. Just do that. So if you did that anyway, oh, look at that. If you did that anyway, you could literally photograph that and flip it. But yeah, I'm really happy with that. Looks cool, doesn't it? And you could do that easy. Oh, thank you so much. I'm so glad. Oh, Emma, thank you for your support. Everybody else, thanks so much for, being with me. I know it's weekdays and that, but I thank you. If you could like and share this for me, and especially on YouTube, and get the pressing button, whatever it is, and getting your bells. I don't know what I'm saying, but you have to like and press, and then you'll get all many notifications or whatever that means. I don't know. I just heard someone else saying it, so I thought I'd have a go. I probably got it all tits up or something, but never mind. So yeah, so I thoroughly enjoyed that. So I will do a quick live next week, but the majority of my time will be spent, which I will do a project 3-dimensionally for you to see. But I'm not too sure whether you want me to do a project recorded. I think that might be better for you. And then that way you're not going to be with me for 9 hours. Okay, so it'll be more like a recorded one. So thank you. I love being here. I've been doing it 4 years now. Hang on, 5 years. 5 years of free videos. Thank you to everybody who supported me and everybody in the future. And thank you for your time. And I love him. Love him. Love her. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you next week. Bye. Where's my button? Oh, there it is. See ya.